What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video. I want to talk about how narcissists play mind games through text messaging. If you absolutely have to communicate with a narcissist, whether it's for co-parenting or whatever reasons you must keep in contact with them, the best method of communication is verbally and over the phone. That way you can record the conversation, because narcissists delete certain text messages as a way to clean it up and make them look innocent. And what's even worse is that now texting is so popular that people are even creating fake text messaging. And this is right up the narc's alley. They also like to clean up the messages and delete their texts. My children's father used to do this to me all the time. This was way back before I blocked him. And I found this out from his sister. His own sister told me that he once said that I didn't want to be with any other man but him. And I would always ask myself, like, why? Like, are people, she wasn't the only one I heard this from. Why do people tell me this when it's been over 20 years since I've been with him? Never had an interest in ever being back with him. Used to question myself and do a lot of soul searching, like, do I go too hard on him? Do I really hate him? Like, I try to convince myself, no, you don't really hate him. But when I realized who he really was as a person, and I looked back into the past of everything I had to deal with him, and came to the realization that, yes, he really was a narcissist. I accepted the fact that it was okay to really have a strong dislike for him. And there's absolutely no love for him. For a long time, I used to be like, damn, am I just being a cold, bitter person? But I wasn't. Like, I had a valid reason to really feel that way about him. And again, I recently just figured out that he was a narcissist. Just by being on this conscious journey that I've been on, it came to me that he is also a narc. And like I say, now things just constantly come back to me, and it show me everything that points to his personality disorder as well. Just like the person who I speak on most of the time in his videos. It's just that this person I have 2 children with, and that is the best thing that came out of our relationship. But anyway, back to the video. I learned this from his sister, and I used to always wonder, why were people, mutual associates of ours, why were they always still referring to me as his, as his ex or his old lady? And I'm like, I'm not his woman. I have been in relationships way past when me and him ended, way back in the days. Why are y'all still, branding me with that name? Stop calling me that. It will frustrate me. It will piss me off. Stop calling me that. And so, like I say now, I know why people do that. So that is why it is so good to be able to do these videos and put them out there so people can see them and they be like, dang. And then they will figure out who he really is. I know who he really is. He got other people fooled, not me. The narcissists have a lot of people fooled. And like I say, they play a lot of mind games through texting. They have a very sneaky way of sharing what they want people to see. And of course, they'll never show how much they have harassed a person and the very dirty side of them, because they have to keep up this false image to those on the outside looking in. And they know who they can do this to, because nowadays texting has become the most popular form of communication. And this is what makes it easier for a narcissist to fabricate whatever the conversation is between them and their victims. So this is just something that I wouldn't put past a narcissist. So if there must be communication between yourself and a narc, try to keep it over the phone. That way you can document the verbal exchange, and they have no way of lying about the truth. Another thing, Another way they play mind games through texting is you can be having a completely civil conversation with them. And trust me, it doesn't last long. Because out of nowhere, out of the blue, they will accuse you of interrogating them. And it's like something just goes off in their head, and then they switch from being one way to another. It's like the Jekyll and Hyde effect. And I used to always wonder, why would he get that way and why would she get that way? When I say she, y'all know I'm talking about the narc who I work with. Because she used to always show me messages between her and some old guy from the past, or guys from the past, who she was involved with. And it's crazy because she would always like threaten, I'm going to leave him alone. I'm going to leave him alone. You have to really listen close to when a narcissist is talking, because they're kind of telling on themselves. When she used to say, I'm going to leave him alone, that's telling you right there, you were the one harassing him. You were the instigator. You're the one who's pushing the buttons. He's not worrying about you. You probably went no contact with the man a long time ago, and then you pop up out of the blue texting him or calling him. And then you want to show, oh, look who decided to text me last night. But I'm not even going to text him back. That's supposed to be her way of paying him back, some type of punishment. Now you text him like crazy when he wasn't responding to you for whatever reason, which I don't blame him. When you finally get a response from him because he's trying to be civil, he's trying to give you the benefit of the doubt that you're not going to be this psycho he used to deal with, then you back to playing mind games. And you're pretending like, look who's running after me. I guess he learned a lesson from his punishment. Like, why are you even punish him in the first place? Because he didn't want to be with you? That's why I say you got to listen closely to when the narc is talking. Because they say things to tell on themselves. I'm going to leave him alone. That means you're going to stop stalking him, harassing him, lurking and peeking in on him. So yeah, what else do narcissists do through the text messaging? That's pretty much it though. They just like to delete their portion of the messages. And they do this in this crazy way that it helps them feel on top of things and feel in control of the conversation. As crazy as that may sound, narcissists will actually delete everything that people have sent to them through texting, through Facebook messaging, whatever type of messaging where, you have to type it out to them, because they like to look back at it and that makes them feel like just, this grandiose thing about them that makes them feel so on top of things. Like if you're just praising them for the person who they are. So they will delete when you're chastising them and you're telling them about themselves and you're setting boundaries. And, you kind of let them know, if we're going to be friends again, we're going to be cordial, and you have to understand this type of friendship and, stuff like that. And when you set your boundaries and it's going to be on certain conditions to the friendship, they don't want to hear that. Because to a narc, you cannot correct them because in their mind, they don't do no wrong, so they don't need correction. You will not tell them what to do. Even though you're not telling them what to do, you're giving them an option, and you're doing this for you. You're doing this for your peace of mind. Of course, narcs don't think like normal people, so they're going to take it as a threat. And what they do with the threat, they rebel. They aim to hurt you again. They want to punish. They just don't receive it in that way for what it really is. So anyway, I hope this video was helpful to anyone. If you have to communicate with the narc, do not text. Talk over the phone, record the conversation for your own records and proof so that they won't lie on you. So leave your comments down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.